Just a thought in the moment. I'm collecting data. I'm observing the world through certain podcasts I listen to, news reports, articles, like all of you. I'm just observing what's happening in this crazy world of ours, and I'm collecting data, and I'm doing my best to figure out how to navigate this from the point of view of being a dad, being a psychologist, being a member of a community, and being a member of a country. The thought I'm having is, how pissed off do people need to get before they actually do something? And like a very clear reason why I'm making the videos I'm making, regardless of who they reach, is because I consume and digest a lot of content with the intention of understanding how people are seeing the world. Like I'll listen to the news, not necessarily to listen to what the actual news is, but to listen to the stories that they're telling, to listen to the spin. What is the narrative that they're selling? And I notice that there's almost no one talking about what's happening in the world. And I'm being really vague, right? What's happening in Iran, what's happening with the Epstein stuff, what's happening with our government, our Congress, our laws, our taxes. Like literally you could just throw a dart randomly with a blindfold on and you'll run into some form of corruption, some form of predatory system that we are all having to participate in. We're literally all touched by it. If you pay taxes, you're touched by it. And my thought was, how pissed off, how hurt do people need to be before they actually do something about it? And the psychology behind it that I wish people understood better, and that's why I keep talking about it, is that you are never, ever, ever going to motivate change on the part of a sadistic narcissist, on the part of an authoritarian, on the part of a person who has utterly no value in agreements, in honoring ethics, in honoring rules. And I keep saying this over and over again. What we're dealing with, and it's not just one person, it is a conglomerate, a beehive, a hornet's nest of truly sadistic, narcissistic people who have sought out power and they have coalesced their power, and they are never going to cede their power. They are never going to stop doing what they're doing. They're never going to stop blindly consuming and profiteering and using and abusing unless they are made to stop. It's just how it works. So the point I'm making and I'm reflecting on and I'm thinking about is, unfortunately, what needs to happen before people actually stand up for themselves? How much do people need to suffer? It turns out human beings are willing to tolerate unbelievable suffering. Look at what we are tolerating. Within reason, we have awareness that there is a global ring of people that rape and murder children. You can't come up with any worse narrative. You couldn't come up with a worse horror movie than that. But even that doesn't motivate people to do much more than make social media posts, which I'm doing, and to stomp their feet and get angry and upset their loved ones. What is it going to take? How pissed off do people need to get? How hurt do people need to get? What needs to happen in the world for people to actually wake up to the fact that you are never going to stop this kind of behavior by getting emotional or angry or ranting or raving or even marching in the streets? A truly authoritarian-minded person, we could use different labels. I think that's actually the best label. A truly authoritarian-minded person, meaning a person who wants completely control or else. They want to force you to go into agreement with what they want or else. They are never going to change because you try to hold them accountable to ethics or to agreements or to promises. They are never going to change because they perceive they're hurting someone. They are not motivated by empathy. They do not have empathy. They don't have empathy. They don't have love. They are not motivated by love. So I'm just having the impulsive thought, what's it going to take before people really collaborate and come together and do something diligently enough and clear enough and relentlessly enough that it will actually set the kind of boundaries that are going to need to be set to change this thing. We do have the ability, we do have the power as the people. It's going to take a very, very simple, very clear campaign among a collaboration of tens of millions of people to actually change this thing. Something I've been thinking a lot about. The moment we get too many ideas, the moment we get too many of our ideas and beliefs about what ought to happen, about what the world should be, about what needs to happen in the world, we just lose ourselves. We get so separated and divided so easily. I observe it all the time in just normal conversations that I have, how quickly you fall into the pitfall of separation and division, that we're just living in different realities. So it needs to be kept very, very, very simple. And I do believe that the people, by the tens of millions, could coalesce around a handful of very, very important ideas that could really change things. And I hear a lot of really smart people out there talking about it, like coming together and getting rid of Citizens United, coming together and creating term limits for those in Congress, coming together and ensuring that they cannot profiteer when they are in office, coming together and doing our best to get money out of politics, coming together and demanding accountability. So that's it.